And now, Sci-Fi Mamacita.
Was on mute. What's up, party people? It's April, the Sci-Fi Mombie. Welcome to another episode of the Sci-Fi Mombie podcast. Um, I am a 40-something-year-old full-time working, fueled by caffeine Mombie, raising 3 kids, and I like to talk. If you haven't figured that out yet, I like to talk about life, love, kids, relationships, families, culture, books, movies, TV, and above all, sci-fi. So, kind of flying solo tonight for the annual Taboo subject, so we'll see how this works out. Um, but you never know. So, trying to find my comments, see if anybody's out there. Um, so, um, Happy New Year. I know we didn't get a chance to get another stream in before the end of the year, which is okay. That happens around here a lot. Um, but I wish you lots of happiness and joy, and I hope 2024 is better for a lot of people. It would be very nice. And see, I have a new toy, and I don't even have it in the right order. So I'm working on it. Um, how was everybody's New Year? Ours was good. Ours was pretty good. Um, we were late to getting everything done just before the ball dropped, so that was kind of funny. Um, but not much has been going on. Um, I don't really have that much news of the week, except that we saw Wonka. I'll be putting out a review of that. It was really good. Um, boy, it did a lot better than some of our superhero movies out there. Um, my kids saw Trolls. I don't know about that. Maybe I'll get Victor to do a review. Um, I saw today out of Reuters, which was brought to my attention by Culture Casino, which is awesome. If you don't know his show, catch it every day. He does 6 minutes of news. So it's awesome. Um, Value Arts is looking at a possible buy-in or purchase of Nintendo. And for me, Nintendo was, I'm that Gen Xer group that Nintendo was my baby, right? I mean, we all played Super Mario Brothers, we all played Duck Hunt. That was like the first, the cartridge you got with the machine. And then it evolved from there. So that's kind of big. And even my oldest son Tony didn't know about it. So I showed him the article. I'm like, "Hey, did you know this has happened?" He's like, "No." So shared that. Christopher Landon, who was supposed to be the director of Scream 7, is out. He removed himself. Um, there's a lot of shakeup going on. If you haven't noticed, between at Paramount, Paramount's in a lot of issues. Um, Paramount is actually in talks to possibly become Warner Brothers, so it's Discovery Warner Brothers. Uh, okay, I, I don't know what to think about that. Because technically Star Trek will become Warner Brothers. Okay, let that sink in for a second. Yeah, it might happen. I don't know. The FCC has to approve it, so we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Uh, Trying to think of anything else. Did you watch the Doctor Who Christmas special? I did. I liked it. I like the new Doctor. I like his personality is amazing. He's in. Sorry, here goes the mommy part of me. Um, he was in the Barbie movie, and he's pretty funny. I do have a review of the Barbie movie out. I finally got to see it because I have Max, so I finally got to see it. Go check that out. It's on my YouTube page. Please, 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 please hit like and share this stream. We are so close to 100 subscribers. 100. We're almost there. We're going to have a big party when that happens. So, a big thank you and congratulations and appreciation for all of you guys who follow us here at Sci Fi Mombie. We love you. But to me, it just seems like Hollywood is kind of stuck. Is anybody else getting that vibe? Um, are we stuck on superhero movies? Could be. Um, are we stuck on franchises like Star Wars? I'm like I said, I'm Gen X. I just turned 45 in December. And I remember when there was a Star Wars drought. Do you guys remember? We didn't have anything until the prequels. So we watched them over and over and over. My favorite Star Wars movie is Empire. But I'm just saying, there's too much. You got to find that balance sometimes in your life, um, even in our Hollywood life, right? Um, so I guess what I'm trying to say is I just saw, I believe it was a poster for the new Ray movie that's coming out. Hold please. And I remember they're talking about it at D23, but I was like, really? Is this really happening? Let me see if I can pull it up here. The new Jedi Order is what it's being called. Let me see here. And I heard that there's supposed to be a Force ghost baby. Anybody want to elaborate on that? I don't know. Um, but I guess it's coming out in 2027 according to IMDb. So, I mean, I love Daisy Ridley, don't get me wrong. But why? First off, it's so far away. A long time ago in Galaxy Park. Yeah, this movie is a long, long way. And 4 years. Well, 3 years now. But the concept was what, given last year? I don't know. I almost would have y'all know me. Sorry. Been up a long time today. I want to tell Disney to renew the Orville. I think they've run the MCU. I mean, there's tons of comic books out there, don't get me wrong, and I love comic books. But how far can you actually take it and keep rebooting and rebooting and rebooting, right? Like Fantastic Four. We already have one, right? We already have one movie. It has Jessica Alba in it and Michael Chiklis and Chris Evans, right? I always forget the other guy's name. We got a reboot, what was it, a couple of years ago? Wasn't that great? So why are we doing it again? Why? Okay, so the definition of insanity is repeating the same process and expecting a different outcome. And I'm paraphrasing, right? So why can't we just move on? What's happened to Hollywood's creativity? You know, I don't know where it's at. I'd like to find out. Um, I'm like every typical American. I'm that generation where I was the latchkey kid, quintessential latchkey kid. I needed to be entertained. What did I do every day after school after my chores and homework? I sat in front of the boob tube. hmm Star Trek: The Next Generation, cartoons, Cartoon Network, right? Right. So there's got to be original thought out there. And Disney, I implore you, renew the Orville. Give Willow a second chance, right? I mean, it ended with the battle. What's going to happen after that? I mean, you kind of left it hanging. You left us all hanging. Um, I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to Ted. I'm kind of digging some of the content over on Peacock. I mean, Mrs. What is it, Mrs. Smith? Where it's about the nun. She was really good. That was a good show. So okay, that's my grind my gears moment. Otherwise, nothing. I don't know much else. So who wants to talk religion? Anyone? Because that's our annual, one of our annual taboo subjects that leads into our "We're no experts, but you can ask us anyway" series. So you all know my story, um, but I'll abbreviate it again. I grew up in a Christian home. My parents are still Christians. I'm still a Christian. Um, we attended the Southern Baptist Church, and you know, there were things that we were taught, difference between men and women. Um, yes, there are differences. However, you need a good partner in order to make a lot of these things happen. And today, if I was to return to that denomination, I would probably be kicked out because of my views on LGBTQIA plus persons. My favorite motto is, it is above my pay grade to judge your lifestyle. Judge you. It is. Who the hell am I to tell you how to live? I can barely handle life myself right now, you know? But I have a personal relationship with God. That's mine to have. Your relationship with religion or faith or spirituality, however you choose to have that relationship, is yours. And it's protected under the First Amendment of the United States, whether people like it or not. I mean, are we ever going to get to a point in this country where we are free to do what we want? I mean, we have to have laws. I get that. But my choice and how I choose to worship is protected. And yours is as well. It's like the other day we were driving home from my parents' house, and they live over by the Islamic Center here in town. And they were having a Christmas celebration, and there were there were protesters with signs that were degrading Islam. And that's your right to protest peacefully. They were being peaceful. I applaud them for that. But it's Christmas. Can't we get along for one day where everybody can have peace? I mean, look at it's been really hard in the Middle East, and that all stems back to religion. I've studied. I have studied it. It's not a total answer to the problem in the Middle East, but it goes back to the Old Testament, to the Torah. Um, so my thing is, and I used to go on visitation all the time with the church. I did because I thought, hey, I gotta get these people to heaven. That's my goal. I got to save their soul, and that's you want to share the gospel, but you don't want to cram it down people's throats. I mean, some people believe different than me. It's inevitable. As my other motto is, if we were all the same, life would suck, right? Can you imagine? What's that movie I'm thinking of? What's that movie I'm thinking of? Where everybody is dressed the same, they look the same, they eat the same, they walk the same. I mean, we're all different on purpose. We all have different DNA. That is God's design for all of us. And I actually was kind of holding off on this talk, but I was absolutely shocked when the Pope came out and said they will start considering LGBTQIA unions, marriages. I was absolutely floored. I was like, wow, how many years has the Catholic Church avoided this? You know? Hey, Carla Burton, welcome. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Um, I was just shocked because I never thought that the Catholic Church would even entertain an idea of LGBTQIA plus unions in the church. Um, but I'm disenfranchised from organized religion, yet I am socially liberal. I mean, social issues I am liberal on, but fiscally, we need to be conservative. Um, and it's always a catch 22, It's hard. I was listening to I've gotten into Bill Maher's oh gosh, what's it called? Um Seth MacFarlane just did a podcast with him. It was pretty good. Um but I just got into listening to some of his older episodes and he was talking to Roseanne Barr. And a lot of people don't like Roseanne. I don't care. I like Roseanne. I don't agree with her politically, and that's for next week's episode. But this week, you know, it's and now I lost my train of thought. See, that's what happens when you are a mombie. But Roseanne, it just was interesting. Some of the things they were talking about, and Bill talks about, some religion because he's Catholic, and she says what she wants, and that's all anyone should do. You're absolutely right, Carla. I love how bold she's always been. Always. Um, I was sad when she was removed from the reboot of The Connors. I really was. Um, because they were writing exceptional storylines. I mean, and they were talking about this on that podcast where they were trading their pills or selling their pills to other people so that they could have what they needed or get money. I mean, that happens every day in America. Um, my mother-in-law was a diabetic and she used to do extra side jobs just to afford her insulin. Where insulin is now what? Capped at $35 um per unit you buy, I think, or supply. Um, yeah. My mom is a diabetic, but my mom works. and she has health insurance. Not everybody has health insurance, but you know, anyways. So a lot of it all kind of stems back to I'll circle back now because we're talking religion, not chasing rabbits. Um, so, but anyways, I am disenfranchised from organized religion. Um, as you all know, because I just put out a recent piece of content, I used to weigh 413 pounds. And I was, along with my husband, ridiculed by the church for being so fat. Um, and then during the 2016 election, my step grandmother's view, hi, Meat Dragger 410, welcome. Um, my grandmother's view of abortion came out in one of my Facebook posts. And I was a teacher in the early childhood area. We called it Cubbies. And I couldn't have any more kids. So getting to work with those cute little kids was a joy every week for me. And because of my grandmother's view and my own view, they removed us from teaching in the department. Also, I said something about a certain president or political candidate at the time. That also got me removed. I still stand by that one. Yeah. Anyways, that's for next week. But it is above my pay grade as a Christian to tell you what is right and wrong. I mean, it's between you and God. It's not for me to be involved. Do you understand? I could pray for you. I'll pray for you any day. Tell me. Send me a message. I'll pray for you. Um, but I'm not going to tell you how to make life decisions. Now, I might say, okay, so here's what I've done in my life. I don't know if it'll work for you. It's like my weight loss program. It's not for you. No, it might be for you, but you need to consult the doctor first, right? Yeah. And we'll talk about that here in a couple weeks. But I just feel like I'm such a sinner that my advice isn't always going to be helpful, you know? I want to be helpful. I want to make people feel secure and happy, and I want to be a people pleaser, but I feel like you got to come back to reality and make your own decision. But like I said, that's between you and God, you know? I used to have that vision that all homosexuality was wrong. People will seek out who they think will tell them what they want to hear. It's human nature. You're absolutely right, Carla. And we're all like that, you know? Um, when the Supreme Court um, ruled in favor of LGBTQIA plus rights, I sat back and took a hard look at my life and the decisions I had made, and especially towards my brother Rob. Um, he's not he's not technically my brother. He's my best friend from high school, and he felt so secure in me that in 2000, when I was pregnant with my oldest son, he came out to me as being gay. And going on my laurels of what I was taught in the church, and, you know, I said, "Don't bring that around my home." And I regretted it. I've regretted it ever since. Um, because he's awesome and he lives in Vermont. He lives too far away from me and I don't like it. So hi Rob. Um, but I I did some eating crow. I really did because life is just too short to always be, you know, I've watched friends um that are so gung ho religion. I feel like they're missing out on life. And when I used to try to talk to them about it, I unfortunately lost friends. Um I just kind of had an epiphany over the last few years, especially after my grandparents died, because I went to church to worship God, but I really went to church to see them because they were one of the backbones of the church we attended. And I feel like the church we attended is grown too much. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Um, we used to be this cute little church, and we had about 200, 300, 400 people. And I played in the orchestra. I play violin. I don't know if y'all know that. I play viola as well. Um, church plays were so fun. We had a blast. I miss it. I really do. Um, but we were really involved in church. We were there as many Sundays as we could. We were there on Wednesday nights. The kids went through a program called Awanas, which was Bible training. We used to call it the Roman Road, um, but they rebranded it to a different organization that was kind of multi-denominational. Like I said, we served, we were removed, and COVID hit, and I had my gastric sleeve. So I had my gastric sleeve like right before COVID hit, and so I ended the church play and had my surgery. I was out, COVID hit, and we watched the sermons on TV. Some of our friends were getting COVID, and unfortunately, some of them passed away because they were older. And I kind of got to the point where I was like, why do I need to be in a church building? God's everywhere, God's omnipresent, right? So, why? I mean, I know that the Bible says that we all need to fellowship, and I know a lot of us turn to the internet. I know I have, for friends, for um, streaming, because I just got the chance to start streaming. Um, Meet Dragger 410 on Twitch is asking advice on connecting with God for the first time. Um, for me, it started with reading the Bible. But you can connect with God through any religion. Um, I have friends who are Buddhists. I have friends who are Jewish. I have friends who are Muslim. Um, any denomination. Try. I'll give you advice. So in college, I took a class on um, intermediate religion, and one of the assignments was go to the Catholic Church, go to Mass. Carla says, pray for God to open your eyes and hearts. Yes, you could do that too. Prayer is really good. Meditation is good. So what I did was I went to Mass. I went to synagogue. Of course, attended my own church. I went I didn't go to a Satanist meeting. I went to a it wasn't really like a Buddhist temple sermon. It was kind of they were meeting in a community center, and it was just kind of like prayers. But seeing every religion, and I even went to like Assemblies of God, which I had attended with my cousins and my aunt and uncle. My uncle was the music director for an Assemblies of God church. Um, I went to the Methodist church. I only went to one side of it though, because there's like a conservative and a modern. So I went to the modern. What's the other? I went to a non-denominational church. That was interesting bec- because I'm sitting there the whole time and they don't preach like the Southern Baptist Church does. So their message is more open, whereas Southern Baptist kind of pinpoint, you know what I mean? Um, it was very enlightening. Of course, I passed that with an A, and I got to know a rabbi here in town, and I love her. She is amazing. Um, I miss her. So I haven't talked to her about using her name on air, so I won't say who she is yet. I have to ask her permission, but yeah, it's just just go and visit. If you don't like it, don't do it again. That's my other motto. I have so many mottos, it's crazy. Um, we in the Orville community have our own Buddhist priestess. That's Maria. I love Maria. Um, she is always bringing light and faith and good vibes to our community. Um, whatever you choose or how you choose to connect with God, honestly, your first step is to believe that there is one. I know that some people believe that the cosmos is there. They believe that they're like, I think my sister, Big Red, is this way. She believes that there's a higher power that created us all. Um, I believe there's God. Now, this might be a little radical, so disclaimer, get ready. Okay. I believe that we are all worshiping the same God. However, we all chose, per our human nature, to split it off how we have. Um, I know it's controversial, right? But we are always looking for that answer to life. And I believe that faith and spirituality and the belief in something greater than ourselves, it needs to be there. I mean, I know I look, I have friends who are atheists, and I have no problem with that. I can understand why you would think that way. I really do. Um, if I hadn't had my own near death experiences, I wouldn't believe the way I do. So I would love to have somebody come on and debate this with me. I was supposed to have Vic and my husband here, but they weren't feeling it tonight, and that's okay. Um, but read. Like, I picked up a copy of the Quran. I've picked up a copy of the Torah. I've picked up a copy of the Catholic Bible, the Mormon Bible. Oh, that's the other church I didn't go to. I didn't attend a Mormon service. See, Carla says that there's a classic emo Phillips sketch that you should watch, and I think it speaks to the exact heart of the matter of man about San Francisco Bridge. Okay, I'll have to look for that. Sorry, I will just cry today. Oh, Carla, don't cry. It's okay. Um, and now I lost my train. Oh yeah, I was reading different books of religion, like Confucianism, and it was a part of one of the assignments in the religion class I took. And they're very fascinating how each branch of religion looks at worshiping God, what you shouldn't do. Like, Jewish people and Muslims believe that women shouldn't show their hair. Some Jewish branches. Um, you know, Jihad. I was really curious about that because at the time 9/11 had just happened and I was in college during the time. And I had an almost a 1-year-old son, and on his birthday they started bombing Afghanistan, October 7th, 2001. So it got me really interested in how religion affects us as humans. I mean, if you read back over, because the Bible's okay, guys, the Bible is written by humans, inspired by God. Yeah. It is not in chronological order, although we'd like to think it is. And some of the stories in history, because the Bible is a historical document, are violent, they're vicious, and it was all done in the name of religion. And I honestly cannot, I don't want to say it this way, I can't judge people who are Muslim because my ancestors, yes, I am, right? If I'm a Christian, Jesus was a Jew, yes. So my ancestors are Hebrews, right? Jewish Hebrews. Yes. Okay. There we go. A plus. Um, my ancestors conquered people in the name of God. So how can I, knowing my history, I mean, the Muslim people just want to spread Islam like Christianity wants to spread Christianity, because we all believe that we are going to heaven through the faith in God and the actions we take for him. Yeah. Some people believe God's a woman. I don't know. I don't know about that. I I don't think God would have made women hurt that bad if she was a woman. I believe it. I have my issues there, but I will talk about that in the next series of Sci-Fi Mombie. But we all have our beliefs, right? And who am I to say that your belief in religion is wrong? I don't know. I don't have, I would love to say I have God on speed dial through prayer, but he doesn't always answer. I hear Jelly Roll's song right now, and that song makes me sad. If you only talk to God when you need something, just talk to God no matter what, if you believe in God. Um, Dang it. I was gonna, it's like people believe in multiple gods, and I don't have a problem with that. The Sikhs believe in all kinds of different things on earth that will make them happy and be a spiritual presence. Um, Even the Satanists believe, what they believe, and that's fine. That's their choice. Not my choice, but that's their choice. And that's not my place to judge them. So I've just had a long history with religion. Um, I've watched from my own personal experience, and I've seen the Catholic Church sex abuse. Unfortunately, it's in every religion. It is. Um, and all I can say is that we need to treat each other better, especially the genders. Um, Women are not doormats, and they shouldn't be. Especially, I had a Sunday school teacher kind of open my eyes as an adult. Um, Men are women are not supposed to be the sole caregiver of your home, at least per my Bible. Men are supposed to shoulder that and then ask for help, and that gets a lot of people upset. So I don't quite understand that part of religion, why there has to be such a misogynist undertone, but I will have to ask God that one day when I'm in heaven. Um, because I am a born again Christian. I accepted Jesus Christ as my savior, and I've been baptized. I was baptized at the age of 7, and that was kind of a family tradition. Um, I've seen a lot of I look at it now and I think it's petty. Um, because man stuff up everything. Isn't that the truth, Carla? Isn't that the truth? Oh, men. Can't live with them, can't shoot them. Um, but I think the thing that I love most about religion is you really need to love your fellow man or woman or person, you know? Because some people don't identify with a gender, and that's okay. Some people have that feeling, you know? I have friends that feel like they were born in the wrong body. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I should have been a man, but I'm not. I'm a woman. Yes, I'm a woman. Right. Hi, Dad Man Walking 55. I know, right? Isn't that great? We're almost there. We're almost there. Um, and we're having a party when that happens. Okay. Carla, even all the little rules Jews made around the Ten Commandments because they wanted to protect the rules, but then Jesus said, "You guys totally missed the heart of them." Absolutely right. Did they not miss the mark? Did they not miss the mark? Um, it brings me back to the story of Moses left Aaron in charge, and what did they do while Moses was away getting the Ten Commandments? They made false images, right? The golden cow, calf. So, and that's pagans, right? That's rooted in pagan myths and all that stuff that they believe. Um, I mean, even when Jesus was preaching and teaching, it was hard to get people to change. Change is hard. And sometimes gosh, we had a pastor when I was growing up that said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And why change? And I hate to say this, but change is inevitable. I've had to learn that the hard way over the past few years, especially when I started working for the company I work for, because we were changing. It seemed like every day we had to change a reimbursement policy. We had to change. a medical policy because the government changed Medicare's policy, and um, we followed Medicare guidelines. So change happens. Your employer group. Okay, okay, ready? Here we go. Your employer group sets your benefits. Yell at them. Don't yell at my friends. My friends are only your administrator. Okay? All right, here we go. Maybe I should do it. Ooh, maybe I should do a whole series on the life cycle of your claim. Don't blink out on me yet. I'll make it easy. Maybe I'll think about doing that. Um, Carla says, then Moses comes down and had a tantrum, did he not? Is that not where we got the Ark of the Covenant from? Right? Isn't that where the 10 commandments are? Right? A lot of people don't understand their healthcare. Here, let me help you with that. Um, I if y'all don't know, and this kind of, I've always wanted to be a helping spirit. I'm full, as my grandma used to say, I'm full of piss and vinegar sometimes, like a boy, but I always had that helping, wanting to help heart. And that stems from watching people at church help others, and we all fellowship together. We may have fought like cats and dogs, and we were different from apples and oranges, but we loved each other. And I miss that in society. I see it sometimes. I try to project it and pay it forward. I miss the mark sometimes. I'm human. I'm not Vulcan, although I have the ears for it. Here, let me turn the ear. um, but I posted something this week from Judy Garland, and I believe she said, I think it was 1963, New Year 1963, where she was talking about, can we all be nicer to each other? Can we all be show more love, talk nicer? And that kind of goes back to religion as well, because God is love. God's not I mean, God's portrayed sometimes as a vengeful God. Although I think that's wrong. This is my theory. It's a theory, disclaimer. If you don't like my theory, turn me off. Um, Satan is the one that's causing a lot of the conflict in the world. And until he's bridled up, like it says in Revelations, let's see. No, thank you. Have a good day. Over on Twitch, getting ads. Yay. Comes with the territory. So, hi, Padawannabe. Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I'm glad you're here. If anybody wants to come on, I got an open invitation out there on our group chat. So I want to hear everybody's ideas and thoughts about religion, because we do it once a year and we don't talk about it until the next year. So, same with politics. That's next week. So, I'm trying to think of, there's a organization here called Convoy of Hope, and they are sponsored by the Assemblies of God Church. They do such great work around the world. The Red Cross. The Red Cross is another one I think about. Salvation Army. Go sit in on Salvation Army. I used to, with my brother-in-law. I sat in on, he used to play no, not French horn. Cornet in their band. I used to go listen to his Christmas. I used to ring the bell, you know? They're not they're not my church, but I'd ring the bell every year. One, because I believe in their goals and values, and two, it got me time, extra credit on some projects at school. But how hard is it to stand there and ring a bell to raise money? I mean, for a good cause. They do a lot of great things. Um, we have what's called the Council of Churches here, and they all work together to help the community. And I think we need more of that in society today. Um, Even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe in the cosmos, even if you don't believe in any higher power, we can all come together and make society better. I think that's always my goal with this taboo subject is every year do something that helps your community, because if you start at the lower levels of your community, it does trickle upward. It may be a trickle, but it goes. Normally you hear people say, "Oh no, it's a downward trickle." No, not always. Not always. We all know trickle down economics doesn't work, but anyways, let's see, Padawannabe. I hadn't figured out my stuff. Half the family was one thing, a few people were another faith. I am personally more than 25% native. I have ideas, but I'm open. Most others aren't as accepting. That is true. Yeah. Um, and you're not alone. My mom, my grandfather was Catholic and my grandmother was Protestant. So my grandma got her way, and my mom and her sisters and brother were raised Protestant, and that's we were a part of the Southern Baptist Church. I have friends who are half Jewish, half Protestant, half Jewish, half trying to remember what their father shoot, I forgot. It wasn't Islam, but there are a lot of people who are trying to figure it out. I don't have all the answers. Um, I have advice. Um, and I say go sit in and listen to what they're preaching, what they're sharing. That was the fun part for me because I know my Bible stories from what I learned in Sunday school and church over my whole life, my adult life. Well, from little to now. Carla, you can only speak of what you know. Exactly. Exactly. Like you gotta go experience it for yourself, right? I can't I always love this at church. I can't give you salvation. I can't. God is the only one that can do that for you. Um, I can't I would like to think I could, but I can't. Um, we were taught the fires of hell. We were taught the fires of hell from a very young age. And we didn't want to see you burn in hell. And my kids, let me tell you, they reject that, and I can see why they do. My kids' generation has a hard time with religion. For one, they've been mistreated. Okay? They've been mistreated in the church, and I feel bad about it. I really do. See, Padawannabe, my biggest thing is everyone's faith is a little right and a little wrong. We are human. Things are altered for the wrong reasons. The idea is sound, whether it's scientific or faith based. Exactly. Why can't there be a happy medium? Um, the pastor I was speaking of earlier always said his favorite dirty word was compromise. And I always loathed that. I didn't like that. Um, I always look at science as God created it, so why isn't it a part of faith based, you know? There are some really there's an episode of Family Guy that talks about this. Um, about there's a religion that there was a little boy that's sick. Lois was trying to save the little boy, and they did not believe in conventional medicine treatments. They believed that faith was going to heal the baby. There are religions like that. Um, there's a good episode of Babylon 5 if you want to start watching Babylon 5. I really like it. Thanks, Ranger. My friend Ranger Angela got me hooked on Babylon 5. And there's an alien species that believes that if you get cut open, your soul escapes from your body, and you're no longer a whole person, you're a shell. There's some religions that believe that. There's some religions that believe that we are aliens from another planet that populated the earth out of a volcano. I won't name. That's their belief. Let's see. Carla said, "We've just finished going through the Catechism." Is that right, Carla? Base book, Training Hearts, Training Minds by Star Mead. It goes through all 108. I'm saying that word wrong. I am so sorry. Questions. It took about 4 days. Oh, 4 years, not 4 days. Wow. I was going to say, if you went through all that in 4 days, you guys are amazing. See. What about boys who skate through windows and slit their arms? Yeah. What about kid? What about kids who eat Tide Pods in the name of religion? I heard that the other day and I went like this. Um I was gonna be ornery and say believe in the religion until it's unlawful and then stop. Well, maybe that's good advice. But always, yes, always boys. It's always something, isn't it? I don't see girls doing this a lot. Um, I was gonna say, I don't know if you want to do this because it wasn't a part of my class homework, but I didn't go sit in on Scientology because I don't know if we have it around here. Then I know we had a Christian Science room. I went in there and they ignored me, so I turned around and left. um, I had a friend that I just found out recently. She converted to Judaism, and I thought that was interesting. Let's see, Padawan. I even enjoy the content that is created that is along the lines of these thoughts. Well, that could be true or not. There are so many things I hear of and need to research to see where it even starts. You're absolutely right. Um, it's not it's not black and white. It's gray. And honestly, it's multicolored. The rainbow appears everywhere, you know? Look at what happened to Noah. Look at what happened to Job. I mean, whatever you choose to believe, go find it first, right? I mean, or do like I did. Um, I can't be hateful and bigoted anymore. Sorry guys. I love you dearly, my former church family. I gotta tell a story. So right before COVID, they were doing a series on other religions. And I have a college degree. I already went through religious stuff. Um, that's not what my degree's in. My degree's in phil study, but it was a part of my extra credits that you had to get. So I took all religion classes. Um, and they were going through, they handed us all these pamphlets. I think I even have it somewhere. I think it's here somewhere. Um, Telling us why each religion was wrong. Sorry, I'm yawning. I had to walk out one night. I would have to say, Carla says, I would have to say Christians believe Christ died once for all, and all other arguments between Christians are. You're right. I've heard that for my whole life. Jesus is the only way. I mean, I believe that, but it's not my place to force you to convert, right? You got to figure that out on your own. Um, what is what? How do I say it? What is your perception of spirituality? Padawanami says there are many religions that only take part of the book or that. One can't tell me to believe them if they are cherry picked. I'm playing around, but a little serious. I'm not trying. No, and you're absolutely right. You're right. Um, I unfortunately have I've come to a realization that some of my friends are taking the word of God and perverting it to their own agenda. Carla says, exactly. I'm just saying that's what is, yes, that is what the basis of Christianity is. And I love these people dearly. I still love you today. However, what happened in 2016, 2015, 2016 still bothers me today because I saw people I respect and admire take the word of God and twist it. And it frightened me, like, to my core, because I never thought that, and I guess this is my naivete, but it's been going on forever, right? Um, People take the word of God, they take the Torah, they take the Quran, Catholic Bible, the Mormon, the Book of Mormon, and they use snippets and they mold it to their own agenda and then they preach it. It's human nature. Yeah. Um, it's like Islam and the idea, sorry, of jihad. I hate to use that example because, you know, let's see. Oh, Padawannabe. Oh my God. Don't get me started on the bakers. Okay, I'll tell you. Hold on. I was around Jimmy and Tammy Faye Baker. I can see so much more after people like this run through a religion. Miss Cleo too. My grandma, my mom's mom, my granny, she had a stroke and she couldn't get out, but she was very deeply religious woman. She's Southern Baptist. She would give money to the bakers. Yeah, lots of money. A lot of people around the country did. They believed in the bakers. They believed that what they were preaching was right. And you know what? Jim lives in Branson. He lives here. Um, and he has a show. I I have a hard time seeing him on TV, knowing how much my grandmother gave to them. And now I could watch Tammy and Jim, their talk show, because Tammy had a change of heart after all that happened. So I think Jim's just gone ultra conservative after all this, after the divorce and everything. But um That is something. Speaking of divorce and religion, oh, Carla says, "You keep saying Southern Baptist. I don't think it means what you think it means. It doesn't now that I really know." Um, Southern Baptists came out of the South in America. Um, they actually founded, okay, you ready? The Democratic Party, um, which y'all know my political views. That's next week. Um, the View. It's meant to be a Princess Bride quote. That's great, Carla. I love it. Their view, I don't mean to keep attacking them. They're good people. They really are. I just don't agree with them anymore on how the Bible's being interpreted. And I guess that's up to you. You interpret the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or the Book of Mormon or any religious book, even all the religious books of Scientology, how you comprehend them. To me, God is love. God loves everybody. We are his own creation. Mental health is not a stigma. I grew up, my sister Big Red is has my boys, they have mental health issues. My nephew. I do. I'm a binge eater. I can't help it. Um, that's where science comes in because I was told as a kid, well, if you'll just will the power of God in you, you can stop eating. You can stop binge eating. Just will God to make you stop binge eating. No, I have insulin resistance pre-diabetes. My body doesn't force insulin into my cells correctly to tell my brain to switch off the hormone to quit eating. Unfortunately, it's kind of mutated over the years, but the cells were designed by God that way. Let's see. Carla says it will be like anything. There are good and bad people in everything, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Um, we're all not perfect. Uh, to me, there's only two perfect beings, and that's God and Jesus Christ, and they're a part of a Trinity with the Holy Spirit. But that's my take on it. See, Padawan be like I've always said, Carla, I'm open, but when people shut me down, I think I was willing to listen. Why weren't you? Just a thing I have. What's what if it's all right? Exactly. Exactly. I think it's above my pay grade to say what's right. I mean, I think there are some things I can say that's wrong, stealing, unless you're hungry. Then again, you should go to a soup kitchen or, wherever, right? There are programs to help you. Um, Carla, yep, I understand, Padawannabe. The problem is people want to win the argument, not have a discussion. Same with politics, etc. You either with me or against me. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Look up. Okay, I will look that up. I wanna see that. Padawannabe. I do believe that a human mind can't understand everything that's out there, so we don't have all the info yet, for sure. Yeah. What, humans only use, what, 4% of our brain? Can you imagine if we used 100%? It scares me. Have you seen the movie Lucy? Yeah. Um, I don't know if we could handle understanding all of it. It would drive me insane, I think, you know. I know I have some questions for God when I get there to heaven. A lot of questions. But will I remember them once I enter the pearly gates, right? Um, this is always this is a subject my dad is amazing. I have the best parents a girl could have ever been blessed with. I am truly a blessed woman. Um, and I have the past year and a half has been hell, and I've taken them for granted, and I feel terrible that I'm there. Um, but I thank God for them every night, and I thank God for them every morning, and I thank God for another day of life because, as Mrs. Dadman says, Walking says, we're only given each day and share love, you know. Um, but my dad says the two things he hates talking to people about the most are politics and religion, and I can see why. Because it's so vast. It's it's a huge topic. And I know one show doesn't do it justice every year, but I try to keep it out of the show all year round because I want us to have fun and I want us to have a good time and I want us to talk about sci-fi. So let's see, Padawan. I do believe that a human mind can't understand every. Oh, did I already read that? Figures. I'm so tired. Figures. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for another wonderful year of taboo subjects. Next week, actually, it's probably going to be Monday. I think I'm going to do it Monday. We're going to get into politics. And Carla, I hope you join us. Padawan, I hope you do too. Um, actually, I would love anybody, Snail, I would love for you to join us. I want the view of the world political system because not every country operates like the United States. We have a squirrely system. Yes, I said squirrely, 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 squirrely. Um, there are things that have happened in the past few years that I never, as an American, thought I would ever say would happen, and that's going to be the discussion for Monday. On politics, and then we're gonna leave it there because I know this is a big year. I know everybody likes to talk about religion and politics together in a big election year. I just don't want to go. I'm so burnt out. I'm so burnt out on politics. I was gung ho. Don't do it. Please don't. You can go look at my Twitter feed, my personal Twitter feed. It's bad. I think let's see. Hold please. Let's see how many tweets I actually have now. I haven't checked it in a while. I mean, I know Mombie is, let's see. Mombie is at 5,700 tweets, but that's been over a year, right? Let's see. My own personal account. I'm going to be shocked when I read this. Hold on. Holy crap. 93.9 thousand posts. But I've been on Twitter since 2013. So, yeah. Carla says, "Oh, you don't want me to join you for politics. I hate them all." Okay, so we'll hate them together. I really want to. I mean, is Australian politics like American? I mean, it's a little different, right? Because you guys are a part of the Commonwealth too, right? Uh, We'll talk about it next week. Let's see. I only watch Rumble. That should tell you. You know, yeah, a little, but free speech is really good for any politics. That's what I miss. Even in religion, I miss healthy discourse, right? Healthy talk. I miss it. I I don't miss beating the knockdown, drag out, you know. The media are the biggest problem. Yes. Yes. And you know what? Okay, this is gonna floor you. It floored me when she said it. Roseanne Barr says she doesn't like Fox News. I I was stunned. I couldn't believe she said it. I was like, "What?" Yeah. So, but that's for next week. All I'm gonna say as I close is we all believe different. It's above my pay grade to tell you how to worship or how to believe spiritually or not believe. Um, there's a big world out there. There's a big spiritual world out there. Um, I know. I know. They did, didn't they, Carla? Yeah, but they weren't wrong. They were wrong, I should say. Sorry. Anyways, next week. Take the time and just go sit in a mass or synagogue or um, sermon. They have revivals. Yeah. Um, I think the Buddhist temple here is open. It's like right down the road from us on actually it's that way. I'm trying to think of the Islamic centers on the other side of town. Just go hear what they have to offer. Um, I always liked going to the Methodist church with my step grandmother because they just seem so open and it just felt like the word of God flowed. Unlike other things. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate it. Gosh, I just can't. That's the mommy MO. I just yawned. But I want to thank everybody for coming. Carla Burton, you're an awesome person. I'm so glad I met you through Admiral Teague. You're amazing. Um, Padawannabe, I'm so glad I met you through Admiral Teague and Appion. I want to thank those who came over from Twitch. I'm actually streaming to Twitch. I'm actually streaming to Facebook and Twix. We're calling it Twix now. I stole that from Mrs. Dadman Walking. Um, but let's see who else. Good discussion. Love it. Dadman Walking 55 was here. Thanks for stopping by. Meet Dragger 410. I'm going to keep you in my prayers. I hope you find the spiritual path that you're looking for. And I hope that if you choose to connect with God, that you do. Um, we only have one life and it's short. And it's important for us to believe what we want because we have the freedom to. So that's where I'm going to end it. But thank you all so much for joining me. We are not talking religion for the rest of the year till next January. I mean, if something groundbreaking shows up, like the Catholic Church recognizing same-sex unions, we might talk about it. Otherwise, I consider this discussion closed. So join me Monday. I believe it's at 7 o'clock. Gosh, I apologize. Ugh, it's just a part of me. Um, Monday, we will talk about politics. And then the following Monday, we will talk mental health because that segment will merge us into the next Sci Fi Mombie annual series, which is We're No Experts, but you can ask us anyways. Um, I'm sorry, I'm a smart ass. I hope you like my channel because I'm a smart ass. Big mouth smart ass. Yep, that's me. And a little bit of comedy thrown in every now and then because, like I tell people, I went through the school of hard knocks of comedy. Um, that was my dad's thing, still is. I love our comedy room. Um, I'm actually going to see Alex Moffat this weekend. I'm excited about that. So if you see me at the Blue Room, say hi if you watch my show. Um, but yeah, we're gonna transition from taboo subject of mental health, which it shouldn't be anymore, to wellness. And we're going to talk exercise. Oh, I have it written down. Hold on. Claim life cycle. We're going to talk weight loss, nutrition, sleep, exercise. And then after that, we're doing our annual paranormal series. And I think I'm going to go in depth on the UAP report from the government. I haven't done it yet. I didn't do it last year. I think I'm going to do it this year. Uh, the paranormal and the supernatural totally interests me. I know PJ's been talking about doing a series. By the way, by the way, my buddy PJ with Orville Nation just started a new channel called Inspiration TV. If you would be so kind as to like, subscribe, and share that channel on YouTube, we would be so thankful. So thankful. Um, just some wrap up stuff. Maria with T and Telly, congratulations on 8,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. I want 8,000 subscribers. Can I have 8,000 subscribers? Let's see. Congratulations, Admiral Teague. He's really launching his channel. That is fantastic. I love the emojis for being a Commodore. Actually, I need to renew my subscription. Oops. Um, We're on social media everywhere. You can find us. All you gotta do is type in Sci-Fi Mombie and you'll find us everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twix, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon. You can find the podcast wherever you find your favorite podcast. Um, Patreon, Kofi. I have a Kofi now. I would love your donations because it's not cheap to run Sci-Fi Mombie as a hobby. It's really not. You can do a daily or you can do a monthly. That would be so great. All you have to do is search for Sci-Fi Mombie. We have a throne and we have some things out on our throne that we would love to have to build the channel a little bit further. Um, so just look for Sci-Fi Mombie on throne. I want to thank Dad Man Walking 55 for having me on his sports show last night. It felt so great to talk about sports with other adults. I'm really enjoying. I met Mr. and Mrs. Dadman Walking through Admiral Teague and Orville Nation. I also want to thank, I don't know if you all saw it, but I was on King Dolphin TV on December 20th. You can go to my page and watch that. It was fun. They have a good time over there. They open it up to the chat for questions. I was rolling. I've met so many new people um, through all the channels. Of course, I've been a part of Orville Nation for a while. Um, let's see. I have a PayPal. We would love your donations. It is the email is mombieape@gmail.com. Um, I mean, we're working our way towards at least 100 right now. We're doing small goals. We'll get there. Um, I would appreciate feedback. I enjoy constructive criticism. You can send that to our new email at SciFiMombie, all one word, at gmail.com. If you would be so kind as to like and share this stream tonight, we would love you to subscribe to the channel. Um, there will be content coming on Wonka. What else have I? Oh, the Doctor Who specials. Um, the problem is because I'm winging it kind of on my own right now. I have to side gig to support my income. Um, so it's kind of hard to get content out when you're side gigging. Yeah. Maybe I should do a video where I'm side gigging. Oh, Carla, we loved it. It was so great. Yeah, it was really, really good. Um, do you does anybody have any like questions on religion before I wrap it up? But yeah, find us wherever you find your favorite podcast. Find us on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, like I said. Pretty much if you type in Sci-Fi Mombie in Google, you'll find us. Okay, cool. Yes, go see it. It's so worth it. Yeah. I want to see Godzilla. What is it? Times 1? And it's not playing here and I am so pissed. It's not playing here. So, guess I'm just going to have to wait till it shows up, I guess. I don't know, on streaming or pay-per-view or whatever we call it now. Um, I'm ready for the new Godzilla times or yeah, Godzilla times Kong, the new Empire. I'm ready for that one. I'm ready for Ghostbusters. Sorry guys, hold on. I'm so ready for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire that hits March 24th, 29th. Um Kung Fu Panda 4. I, I'm a big animation person, so um of course, we're watching all the previews, and I posted for the quote of the day one of the quotes from the new movie coming out. Violence makes our tummies tingle. Um, so I'm just ready for good movies, good TV shows this year. I'm looking forward to, unfortunately, season 5 of Discovery, Star Trek Discovery. Um, and as I always say, come on, Disney, open this jar of pickles, renew the Orville. Enough is enough. Get off your keisters. If you're not going to renew it, let it go to Universal. Okay? Let it go to Peacock. Um, oh yeah, I have a grind my gears, and I know I've been talking about it for a while, but I think it's bullshit that Fox pushed Family Guy to Wednesday nights out of animation domination. So that's my grind my gears. All right. Well, that's religion. We ain't talking about it no more for the rest of the year. But I would love your suggestions for quotes of the day. And you can drop those on social media or you can email those to me at SciFiMombie.com. SciFiMombie at gmail.com. Okay, I'm going to say it again. SciFiMombie at gmail.com. We also have a website and it's GoDaddy Sites. No, it's SciFiMombie.GoDaddySites.com. Um, but lead your own spiritual path. Don't let anybody else do it for you. It's taken me 45 years to figure that out. And like I said, I don't have all the answers and I won't. God has all the answers or a higher spiritual being or whatever you believe has the answers. I don't. All I'm saying is you plot your own path with God's help. So And as I always say, the fun never stops at the Sci-Fi Mombie house. So later, party people, have a great evening. Great week. Week's almost over. We're through that first week of the new year. So I hope everybody has a great year, prosperity, health. I don't know about wealth. I would like wealth. I think we all would. I know that person in Michigan is loving wealth. So, no thanks, Jason. Wow. Real mature. Later, party people.